Good day everyone, I am Mark Louis Armones from Varietals 3 AFSMA. Today's video, I will going to show or discuss the varieties of coffee and its process or methods of processing the coffee beans. But before that, a glimpse of history or trivia. Did you know that coffee was accidentally discovered by a goat herder named Caldi and his goat? His goat started to eat a sweet, wild, and nibble berries, and he started to act unusual, wild, and frisky. Due to Caldi's curiosity, he also tried to eat the wild berries, and he proves that it gives enriched energy. From that discovery, coffee started to conquer the world and become a well-known beverage in the world. The varietals of coffee can be written or can be cited in a real acronym, which stands for Robusta, Excelsa, Arabica, and Liberica. Now let's discuss the four varietals of coffee. First is the Robusta. It is the second most popular coffee in the market or in the commercial. Aside from that, it grows in a broader range of environment and it is also less prone to diseases. Aside from that, it is known for a darker and earthier flavor. That's why it is very good for espresso. The second variety of coffee is the Excelsa. It is reclassified as a Liberica coffee, but it is much different compared to the Liberica beans. Aside from that, it is much fruitier than Liberica bean. It also has a tart acidity that makes it popular and for adding the complexity to the coffee blends. The third variety of coffee beans or coffee bean is the Arabica. It accounts for 60% of world commercial coffee production. Aside from that, it is much sweeter and more complex flavor compared to Robusta coffee bean. It also has a bright acidity and gives multiple layers of flavor. Lastly, it grows in a light shade in high altitude with even rainfall. It is usually thrive in minimal temperature variation, which is usually in volcanic environment that is offer rich mineral soil. The final or the last classification or the variety of coffee bean is the Liberica. It makes only 2% of the world's coffee crops. It has a different and unique flavor. It has a pairing floral, fruity, with a deep smokiness and woody flavor. At this moment, let's go to the methods of processing coffee beans. There are two most common processing coffee beans, which are the following. First is the wet method processing. Second is the dry method processing. Let's discuss first the wet method processing. In this method, coffee cherries are hand-picked and soaked in water for about 6 to 12 hours. Coffee cherries are washed and cleaned with gentle water spray to remove the excess puff or any debris. The second most common processing that has been applied to the coffee beans is the dry method processing. And this method is also known as the oldest, natural method and the cheapest method of processing coffee beans. In this process, coffee beans or fruit, either ripe or unripe, were dried in the sun and before it raked for several times to remove the excess debris or pulp. Next is the sorting process of coffee beans. There are two sorting process of coffee beans, which are the bare hand process or the hand process and then the mechanical process. First is the hand process. When we say hand process, people are choosing the coffee beans manually by its sizes and weight. Usually, ginagamitan lang ito ng kamay and mano-mano talaga. So, kailangan malinaw po yung ating mata dito. The second is the mechanical process. In this term, or in this process, coffee beans are sorted by a motor-generated screen with different sizes and holes and the weight of the coffee. Or in other terms, it uses machine to pick or select the coffee beans. The last is the grading of coffee beans. Grading of coffee beans may vary since it depends on the bean's size, weight, or the quality. It can be AA or AA, A, B, or C. Pwede din pong gamitin yung grade 1 to 5. For grade 1, coffee beans has no defect. Grade 2, less than 6 defects. Grade 3, less than 13 defects. Grade 4, around 24 to 86 defect in the coffee beans, and grade 5 more than 86 defects. That would be all. Thank you for watching my video presentation.